Break the board, sports. Here we go. College hoops on the hardwood. Man, what an awesome day. Tuesday, won. My Dukies won. But more importantly, we were able to give you guys 3-0 Michigan State, Kansas, and then the under in the Kansas Duke game. All that cash. So hopefully you followed us. Click that like, hit subscribe. Here we go. Let's get into today's game. So the first one I want to touch on, Alabama at Illinois. Right now, Illinois is a 4-point favorite. They're getting 61% ticket count, 84% of the handle, 39% ticket count, 16% of the handle going to Bama. Now, your over-under sits at 182.5, 57% of tickets to the under, which is equating to 27% of the money, 43% of ticket count to the over, equating to 73% of the money in this one. We dive in, obviously, Alabama been hot, been on a roll to start the year with some big wins here for them. Alabama right now, battling a cold, so you'll have to excuse me on that. Right now, Alabama comes in 2-1 straight up, 1-2 ATS. Illinois is 4-0 straight up, 2-1 ATS. Now, Bama, they beat St. John's 103-96. But then they lost to Purdue at home 87-80 their last time out, which was about 6 days ago. We gave out Purdue in that game plus the points and got home. But we also gave out St. John's in that loss. So just want to be fully transparent there. Illinois, on the other hand, they've beaten Colgate by 19, beat Texas Tech by 4. Florida Gulf Coast beat them by 43. If you look at the points, statistically, these teams very comparable on the offensive side. Alabama averaging 91.3 points per game, 97.8 is Illinois. Now, Alabama's given up 81.7 points per game on the defensive side. Illinois is a little bit better, 66.8. I would like Illinois a whole lot better if it was a true home game, but this is not. They're playing at the United Center. Not that scares me off completely. But I would like it if they were playing at home a little bit better. When you look at this from a standpoint of statistically, Illinois 8-3 ATS their last 11, 5-2 straight up is Bama their last 7. Illinois 5-1 straight up their last 6. Now Bama 1-6 against the spread their last 7 games versus a Big Ten opponent. Not very good there. But listen, Illinois hasn't been much better against the SEC. They're just 1-4 ATS. Again, I would like this game a whole lot better if I was getting Illinois at home in a true road game or a true home game, rather. I would like Illinois better. However, I think Illinois minus 4, you still got to lay that. Or I would look to do some type of money line parlay situation, a 2-team parlay, Illinois and maybe an Oklahoma State that gets you plus $1.13. I think Oklahoma State gets the win against South Florida. So a couple different ways there you can look at it to go, but Illinois would be my lean. Again, if it was a -4 at home, I would take them, but just don't want to step out there completely with it. But Illinois' money line, you could put with another game we're going to talk about here in just a second. But before we get to that, I want to talk about BMI at Richmond. And again, this is part of the handicap I go down through each and every game. Right now, Richmond laying 14 over under 151.5. Now, VMI really likes to run and gun here, has for years. 58% of bets, 96% of the handle to the under, 42% ticket count, 4% of the handle to the over. Again, Richmond is laying 14. They're getting 59% of ticket count, 84% of the handle. VMI, 41% ticket count, 16% of the handle here in a Virginia matchup. Now, total has gone over 6 of the last 8 home games for Richmond and 6 of their last 7 overall. But Richmond has struggled. They're just 6-14 straight up their last 20. However, covering been kind of their thing. 4-1 ATS their last 5. VMI, they've lost 5 straight games to Richmond. But these two stats really got me. VMI, 11-3 against the spread, their last 14 road games. This is an interstate game, but it's on the road. VMI, 6-1 ATS their last 7 overall against Richmond. I saw that and I was like, 14, that's a lot. I know how VMI plays. I've bet them many times before being here. VMI comes into the game 3-2 straight up, 1-2 ATS. Richmond 3-0 straight up, 1-1 ATS. Richmond, last year, these two teams played in Richmond. They played in Richmond 5 straight years. The last time they played in VMI actually beat them. But the last 5 meetings, but last 3 specifically, last 3 years they've played in Richmond. Now, the first 2 weren't close, Richmond being by 21 and 18. But last year, Richmond had a 7-point win, and that line was 12.5. Now I'm getting 14. Give me VMI plus 14 tonight. That's going to be a play that I lean with and rock with. I couldn't get there on this game. Campus game, you got Villanova at LaSalle. Again, another interstate game. Villanova 3-1, both straight up in ATS. LaSalle 2-2, both straight up in ATS. These two teams last played in 2022 at Villanova. A game Villanova won by 13. I couldn't quite get there with LaSalle, but again, Villanova's beaten LaSalle 9 straight times. They're 5-2. They're 5-2 straight up their last 7 overall. LaSalle 4-11 straight up their last 15 games overall. However, LaSalle has covered 6 of their last 8 contests. But here's the thing that I just couldn't get there with LaSalle, but to me it would be LaSalle plus 12.5 or plus 13 or nothing. Villanova is just 1-5 ATS in the last 6 meetings with LaSalle. So just something to keep in your cap there. Again, I couldn't get there with LaSalle, but it was definitely a state of mind. Couldn't get there laying the points with Oklahoma State, but I do like Oklahoma State in any kind of money line parlay situation that you may do. Next game I want to go over, and this is the big one of the night. You got Arizona versus UConn here. And UConn, this line keeps creeping up and creeping up. We're up to 6.5 now. You're over under 157.5, 64% of ticket count, 77% of the handle is going to the over. 36% of ticket count, 23% of the handle going to the under in this one. Now, as far as the 6.5, 54% of ticket count, 71% of the money going to UConn, 46% of ticket count, 29% of the handle going to the Arizona Wildcats. Now, listen, Arizona, they've been the giant slayer. Both these teams come in 4-0, but UConn just 1-3 against the spread. Arizona 2-2 ATS. Head-to-head, these two teams haven't played since December 18th, so you can throw that out, or December 2018, so you can throw that out the window. But again, Arizona, they went to UCLA and won 69-65. They beat Florida in the neutral site game 93-87, so they have some really good wins. Now, UConn, life and death with BYU, only a 2-point win there. Other than that, they've played a bunch of bums, Columbia, UMass, Lowell. So now you got UConn laying 6.5 in this one. Arizona 2-5 straight up the last 7 and 2-5 ATS the last 7 versus UConn. But again, hadn't played since 2018. When we talk about that, you say, what does the past matter? The past matter if it's on an every year, every 2-year trend. When you have a long lull like this, it doesn't matter. So you would be correct. For the rest of you, trends do matter. If this was all about what you saw and how they're playing right now, none of you guys would go to work at your jobs. Y'all would just bet and make millions and millions of dollars. Arizona 6-1 straight up their last 7. UConn 5-1 straight up their last 6. Connecticut has won 7 straight games at home, and this is a true home game here. For me, I like UConn. I think UConn's going to win the game. I call it the SpongeBob SquarePants, the old money line parlay, very square bet. But I can't help it. It's what I like. I like UConn and Illinois in a money line parlay plus 101 over there at FanDuel. But also, I could get down with going the other way. And what I mean by that is I could see I'm not a big college basketball teaser guy. I think it's like college football, too hard to get those to work. But what I will say is if you go over there and they let you do it now, you can lay $1.28. You in a 5-point teaser, you could have UConn minus 1.5, Bama plus 9.5. But I think the safer play again, plus 101, UConn, Illinois, money line parlay. The 2 main games last night, the Dogs covered Michigan State and Kansas. I don't know if the favorites both cover, but I think they both win in this game. So I'll play that money line parlay. And again, I'll play VMI plus 14. Again, click that like, hit subscribe. Break the Board Sports, where we help you become a better handicapper. God bless and happy handicapping.